While this drink is, of course, not made with real uranium, I do think it's important to be a little more safety-minded when mixing alcohol and energy drinks. Today's cocktail is called the Uranium Kaiju, named for the original Ultra Monster Gabora. We'll also check out each of the 4 Gabora minifigures released for the Shin Ultraman film. For this drink, you'll need vodka, a green melon liqueur, orange juice, and a yellow energy drink. The silver luster dust is optional, as is the Shin Ultraman Ichiban Kuji Gabora glass. Start by putting some silver luster dust into your shaker. Pour in 1 part vodka, then 3/4 of a part of that green melon liqueur, then a 1/2 part of orange juice. Add in some ice and give that a good old shake. Pour that into your glass, top it off with that yellow energy drink, and enjoy. Cheers! For these Shin Ultraman Gabora figures, let's start with the most expensive. I don't know if the Megahouse figures were sold individually or just in the cases of 4, but it came out to about 900 yen per blind box. This is the only one of the Gaboras to be on all 4s and came with a little diorama base, allowing him to crawl over the hill. I appreciate the sculpting on the base with the tiny power lines and the footprints. Now, getting the top of the frill to stay attached, though, was a pain in the butt. I'm not sure if mine is warped or if they're all like this, but I'll have to glue that piece in. Otherwise, this one is sweet. This version has the widest open mouth, and I appreciate the little detail on the roof of the mouth. Nice metallic purple on the back with some great detail on those spirally back parts. What are those called? The rest of the figure is kind of flat as far as the paint goes, but they did paint all the claws. Without the base, it can't quite stand on all 4s since the lower frill pieces stick out too far. If I can't get that top frill piece to stay, I might just cut the frill off entirely and customize this one into a Shin Pagos. The next one down is the CCP release from their fantasy film figure collection, which retailed for around 600 yen. This is the largest of the 4 and has a paint job near identical to the Megahouse. I think the detail on the body is sculpted a little better than on the Megahouse, but the paint is a little sloppy on the purple, where some of it doesn't go as far as it should and some of it is spilling down the rest of the tail. However, for 600 yen, I could totally overlook that. This one features a closed mouth and some pretty sharp frill spikes. Actually, all of them have sharp frills. Be careful with those. This one is also the only one to have the tail sculpted directly into the back spirals. I'm a little surprised that none of these figures have the back pieces separated into their 2 spiral spikes. Now, for some reason, the Ultraman from this set seems way out of scale to me. But never fear, this is a problem that's corrected with the Kaiyodo figures. These were released as both Mini Q blind box figures and Capsule Q Gashapon figures. As far as I'm aware, the only difference is the packaging, with both types retailing for 500 yen. They're the smallest of the bunch, and while the paint may be sloppily applied, I'm pretty impressed. There's a dry brushing on the body that really makes it stand out compared to the other companies. Plus, paint on each individual raised section of the back with paint on the underside even though we don't see it, and painted details on the inside of the frills. Stellar. They also went as far as to sculpt the entire back even though it gets covered up by those spiral parts. This set actually had 2 different types of Gabora, with the second type having a closed frill drill face. That one was actually paired with a Shin Ultraman in the same box, and the scaling seems much better with these 2. A Shin Ultraman and Gabora together for only 500 yen? Awesome. Something to note, while both Gaboras have the same parts aside from the head, the connection between the upper body and the lower body is a little bit different, with the open frill upper body having a peg that the other body doesn't. The lower body on both figures has a hole for the peg, so they're all interchangeable, but I just found that interesting. Now, which one of these is my favorite? Honestly, I'm torn. If I could get Kaiyodo's paint job on a CCP detailed sculpt and closed mouth in the Megahouse pose and base at the Kaiyodo price point, which one do you prefer? I mean, it's not like I need to get rid of any of these since they don't take up that much space, but I was planning on turning my least favorite one into a Pagos. I just really want a Shin Pagos figure. Hopefully we'll get a collection of all the Shin Ultra Kaiju. Until then, I want to wish you good luck on your hunt, thank you for watching and liking and subscribing and all that, and remind you to please drink responsibly.